459 Bridgeport Road. Represented by CB Bridgeport 6 LLC. Final site plan approval.
All set?
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening, everybody. Sean Reardon, the project civil engineer on behalf of the applicant. Who's the clear path application. Would you mind calling up C301? It's like a fourth sheet in.
This is a brand new stuff.
One more. Perfect. So just in the way of an update, we had town board meeting a couple weeks back, where they approved a couple minor changes to the regulations. One being they changed the height limit from 15 feet to 20 feet. So what that means is we don't need relief for the height anymore. All of our panels are under 20 feet tall. The other change was, they granted the planning board the authority to essentially reduce the setbacks to 0 for property line, internal property lines for a project. And if you recall, last time we were here, we had sort of the issue with the,
Yeah, if there's contiguous properties with projects on each, they have the option of going down to 0.
right,
It's safety on the other ones that we had overlooked.
right. So what we did is we essentially have a project comprised of 2 pieces on 4 different parcels. Prior, we had the Radford project on 2 Radford parcels. And then we had the Goble project on the Stanley Goble parcel, and I think it's Pignataro. But what that did, it left us with about 15 feet of setback along the property boundary here. And that property boundary up north was the Radford parcel, so that was not part of the project. So that Radford parcel only had on it a small section of roadway. So what we did is we talked to the Radfords and got them to agree to include that parcel as part of the global project. It allowed us to
But Radford already has a project.
on a separate parcel.
Radford already has a project, right?
Well,
It's Radford property. I don't care about internal property lines in the same title holder. If it's a title holder and it's the same in the same name, it's a they have a project, which is number 2 on the list, correct?
Yes, but it's on,
Correct.
it's entirely on.
So the global one is not 2 different projects. You're just moving it, putting it over 6 or 8 feet in order to try to
Not quite,
use this.
not quite. So Radford has 2 parcels. So what we've done is we have the one parcel that entirely encompasses one project on one parcel. We took the second parcel they had and moved it.
Okay, you'll have to get
over.
the title documents to show that they're different parcels.
They are.
yeah, they got separate parcels.
No. You don't understand me, do you? If it's in the same name and there's 63 parcels, it's 1.
Okay.
No matter how they acquired it. If
Yeah.
it's in the same name, it's 1 parcel as far as,
So if they just
Working.
transfer that to an LLC, the second parcel, then it's okay.
it might be
We can do
at
that.
that point in time. I mean, my opinion is, no, I'm not gonna give you. If they ask for it, I'll give it to them.
But that could be.
But this doesn't fit what we did.
Uh-huh. I understand.
But we
You're trying to skirt the deal in order to get Global a project. And I don't know that that's true.
It's not all the intent. So we
Oh,
have,
absolutely.
we have 4.
6-8 feet of panels?
No, but we have, if you could let me explain, we have 4 parcels that are essentially contiguous. Right, so 2 parcels that belong to the Radfords and 2 other parcels.
Okay.
So,
Radford, you can talk about as 1 parcel. That's, I mean, that,
but it isn't. It's 2 separate parcels.
and whose names are they in? Then that would make it 4 parcels. Whose names are the Bradford parcels in?
And Tommy and Christy Radford.
Right.
But
So it's
they have-
1 parcel.
No, they have 2 separate parcel numbers under assessors and they're.
Doesn't mean, we don't care what the assessor does. That you can have 16 parts, if it's in the same name and it is contiguous, it's 1 parcel.
Then why does it have
Sorry.
separate parcel IDs?
That's up to the assessor. That has nothing to do with how these are looked at.
So,
It's one parcel.
so if they were, wouldn't the Radfords have a right to propose one project on one parcel and another project?
Oh, they might have, you know,
Well,
but it's one, just take my word for
Yeah.
it. When we look at it, if it's in the same name, it's one parcel. It's not two, just because the assessor says, geez, I want to put 16 numbers on it, that doesn't make it 16 parcels. It's one parcel.
but it has a separate.
If you come in and make an application, do a project, we're looking at the outer boundaries. We're not looking at any inner boundaries.
It's not, I mean, if we just put a condition on the Radford permit that they will transfer the property to an LLC, like then there would be two different names and that would solve the problem.
And that may solve the problem.
If we put that as a condition to the,
And that may solve the problem.
I mean, that's not, that's easy to do and.
Yeah, no, I understand. And it's up to this board when they deal with this 0 foot to see whether you're complying with the requirement. Or you're just trying to skirt the requirement by putting
To that
a
point,
couple feet of parcel, a couple feet over there.
we have three parties cooperating on a project that is comprised of two applications here. So they're all of this is being proposed on land by people that are in cooperation with each other.
In Gobel, how many property owners are there?
Two parcels. One owned by the Goble Family Trust and one owned by.
Now there's three. We added one of the red.
Right.
Yeah.
And we've added what we're calling parcel 12, which is an independently deeded parcel that the Radfords own. That on which there was a small section of roadway connecting the two projects. That's all that was on that parcel originally. So it was it was immaterial as to which project that parcel went with. We chose to include it with the Radford project because they were both Radford parcels. But wholly distinct parcels, different deeds, different parcel IDs under assessors, different bills.
Well, if you're talking Radford again, don't, because it's one parcel. Okay, it's just one at that point. That's what we've got before us, is one Radford parcel. Now, we're on Gobel at this point.
Right.
We're not on Radford.
Yes.
Radford is fine. They've got a big project out there.
Yeah.
But now all of a sudden you're saying that Radford's gonna have two projects.
Radford will be part of two projects, yes.
Right.
So they will be part of the Goble project in that section of roadway is gonna be constructed as part of the Goble project. And that we took advantage of that parcel now being part of the project and shifted the project 20 feet to the north, increasing the setback from Breezeport Road and increasing the setback from the slopes that are steep along that property edge.
We had no choice there, right?
Well, no, we could have left it where it was.
Well,
Because-
you gotta stay back from those things, but that's okay. Neither gonna. Okay,
So again, it's like, I don't want the perception to be that we're trying to skirt an issue, because all of this land is part of a common development program that is being done cooperatively. So the project is shifting further into that assembly of four parcels. And thereby the benefit being to the external stakeholders, the people that are not part of the project is, the net result is the array is further away from those people. Move more towards the center of the four parcel assemblage, three of which are included in the goal.
but if you had to do 75 feet on Gobel, how much of the project couldn't be built?
It's a pretty big chunk.
Yeah, I'd say maybe 10%.
But to that point, I mean, isn't it just about whether or not it meets the criteria? Because we could put more panels into Radford for the Gobel project. I mean,
Yeah.
We could keep building into there more and more, so. I mean, it's not about, well, how far into this parcel are you, it's the project components, it's just about whether or not there are project components on this parcel. Correct.
That's what they're gonna decide.
Yeah.
That's not what was told to the town board at the time this was passed. That this would not happen. that the two projects, if projects go over, if it's a single project going over, but now you got two projects on one on the other, and it looks like you're just shoehorning it in.
But if we do, could we put it as a condition of the permit? Just make them separate ownership? Like I said, but do it.
I'd still look at it that you're shoehorning it in.
Why is the
I mean-
perception that we're shoehorning it in?
Well, because you're putting like 6 feet of thing on.
But
You know,
we could,
If you went farther north, what, I just don't understand, I don't understand.
we could go farther north into the parcel 12. We absolutely could do that, but then what that would do is that would shift more of the revenue to the Radfords and less to the Gobles and the Pintaro. So it affects the revenue distribution between the partners.
No, I understand that fully, but it still looks like it's a shoehorn. It doesn't look like it meets what we were discussing when we got into this. That there would have to be another change in order for this to work. Because you already have a project on Radford, it meets the setbacks and all that. Why does Radford need another project? That doesn't meet the setbacks if they've got room to meet the setbacks.
So to carry the line of thinking, I mean, let's say we add more panels onto the global project going into this other Bradford parcel. I mean, at what point would you view it as not being a shoehorn? Like, because we could, I mean, we could put more and more panels going further
Well,
north.
just make them one project. You got a project up
We
here,
can't because of the program
Put 'em-
limitations.
put them together.
The northern Radford project cannot be any larger because of the NYSERDA program
Well,
requirement.
then just move it down.
There's a swamp there, it's a big wetland. So we can't move
So if they
it.
bought 75 feet from Bradford. Put it in Goldman's name, they'd be in compliance.
They could, yeah. Yeah, they'd have the
But they don't
75.
wanna
They
do
had
that.
75.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing that. out.
Yes,
But
Steve asked that.
I still don't understand. The Radfords own several parcels of
We
land.
argued with this for 2 meetings, 2 hours. And we're not getting anywhere on both sides. So we need to listen to our board members.
Yeah.
And figure out what we want to do.
Make a motion. Yeah.
So. I'm sorry. So our. Is to accept the changes. Or not accept the changes, correct? For that 75.
Yeah, to accept the site plan, with the zero foot setback. Because this is the global project.
Right.
Once you get to the Radford project, then you're gonna have to accept 2 projects on the Radford parcel, the main one, and then this other project with zero. With zero.
That's,
So,
with all due respect, that's incorrect. We have, the Radford project is on 1 43-acre parcel belonging to Tommy and Christie Radford.
As soon as you go over
it's,
to somebody else's name. They're part of that project.
yeah, so this is two Radford projects. But you got the property line going through these panels at however many feet.
Yeah.
So you got two Radford projects. You're showing one on your Radford stuff. You should have shown the other, you didn't. But that's neither here nor there. We can work on that if we have
Can I
to.
just have just one last chance to help explain? I just don't think I'm communicating this properly. There are 2 projects, both being applied for by Clear Path Energy on land owned by the landowners. So
Yeah.
the landowners are not the applicants, Clear Path is the applicants. The projects are the Radford project and the Goble project. There are 4 parcels that are all contiguous on which those 2 projects sit. The Goble project sits on 3 parcels. The Radford project now sits on 1 single parcel.
Right. But you've added a project onto the Radford parcel.
No, I'd argue we didn't.
We look
We
at
would
it,
look
we look at it this way.
Yeah.
There are 3 parcels here. One is owned by Coval, one is owned by Radford, and one is owned by
Dignitar.
Pignatar. And that's how this board is going to look at that,
Okay,
okay? Understand that you're trying to divide the two parcels, and that's not the way this board's gonna view it.
okay, all right. I get it now then. Wow. Do they own other land adjacent to these two parcels? I mean, Kristen?
Not just those two.
Okay. Right. So that's in total the five. Yes, okay.
Just a- So the town board amended the zoning, right?
Yeah, to the 20-foot height, which is no issue. And then they said if contiguous properties are subject to an installation of a major solar collection system or solar farm. Solely at the point where the projects coincide, upon review and approval, the planning board may consider and approve a 0-foot setback. So we figured we'd leave it as permission for the board to do it because we want to make sure, you wanted to make sure of, where are the houses, where are the, so that we're not impeding on other things, which I don't think we are on this at all anyway, but.
So John, help me understand. If I had, I'm just gonna go with like a mile. And it was 7 different owners. The purpose of the setback is to present everyone excluded from the property. So why does it matter if those 7 properties are smushed together or not smushed
Well,
together?
I don't think, I think that's what we want to see happen, is we wanted to see that if you had projects going through, that we could reduce that, what would be 150-foot, setback in the middle, pushing the projects out toward maybe improvements or roadways or something like that, so that we could pull them in to the middle of the thing and avoid impact on other people that may be there, even with 75-foot setbacks.
So the
So,
purpose is to centralize the
Yes.
core and
Yeah.
leave the perimeters
right,
with setbacks.
and my statement here is Radford project is, I don't know how far, 700 feet from the property line, or, I mean, it's a hell of a lot farther than
Yeah, we.
70 feet, 75. The Radford project is way in. And now they have the Goble project down here. And in order to be able to put the Goble project in, they're moving some of it into Radford. So that they can request this board to give them a 0 setback. Or something less than 75 feet, I would assume, at this point in time. But they're looking for 0 at that point. And my statement now is, I think they're just trying to get around the ordinance, because we had this discussion and said this ain't gonna work. We have to do something different, and that's why we put in this stuff, but now you have a project. If the Radford project was down there, I don't see where there's a big issue. And now you got a second project on Radford.
So if they butted up against each other,
There
there
should,
shouldn't be an issue.
Right,
But now
because-
since it's a separation,
because now you're making sense.
Just
You're
one
taking the
quick-
Radford from up here, pulling it down to here, taking it away from whatever,
So just one quick point, we would pull it all the way down, but there's a swamp there. That's why
So
it's not there.
it's unconstructable.
Yeah.
It's your own issue. That
Yeah,
is-
but
is
you're
a
making an
subdivision
assumption
issue.
that you can't, you have a right to do it. You don't have a right to do it. And that's just an impediment at this point in
Yeah,
time. These guys have to decide.
What we're trying to do is look at the massive land available to us by the people involved and make the best decisions for that land. And,
Right.
and that's what we think we've done. And aside from the whole parcelization thing that I didn't appreciate, I thought we had complied with the regulations, so, but that's okay.
Whatever. Like I said, these guys are gonna make the motion and vote on it.
So we need 2 motions then, right? One for the Radford, and one for the.
Well, we're right now,
Right now,
we're
we're only
on
working
on-
we're on the
Just
one
saying.
we're dealing with.
Okay, so
Yeah.
right now.
And you
right
would be, the motion would be to approve the site plan as it is with a zero, they're requesting zero setback, yeah.
Right, so,
Along that, just that one property.
Well,
Right, so-
and between the Max and Pignataro property and the.
Right, the ones were
Yes,
joined
yes.
as part of the
Yes,
project,
yes.
right, yeah.
so, if I'm hearing everything right. We don't have too much problem with the Global project, right? It's the combination of however many projects there are on,
Well, the global one is the
No,
one
the
that have a
global
problem,
one that's got
that's the
the
one that's
global.
going across
okay,
onto the Radford.
That's the only. one.
Where it adjoins, whatever, what's the name?
Goble and Radford.
No, the other name.
Right.
Pignataro.
Pignataro, where it joins Pignataro. That has, that's fine, it fits the stance at this point in time.
What's our
So,
pleasure, board members?
I know we kind of belabored this, but at the end of the day, we're trying to do the best we can with the property that we have available.
And we can definitely push more of the project onto the Radford parcel. If that's a viable option, but I don't know how.
The question, the question is, that the board has got to consider. Is how much land do they have to have? Percentage wise or whatever like that of a project on an adjoining
do
property.
you feel, yeah,
Or, you know, because truthfully, even. Global the parcel or whatever, like, I can't remember what it starts with either, but. That takes up almost a majority of that land. Their land, parcel property. But. You know. I think the biggest issue is that Radford has two projects on it. And that's where. You know, if they owned a large enough monstrous chunk of land. They could come in technically and ask for two separate projects. One now, one later, who knows, you know,
I think we're working on global, but when we get to Radford. That site plan approval has to be amended to include this other chunk. 'Cause
if
we're
we
not-
approve
we're
both
not-
of them,
Yeah,
What other chunk?
the chunk of global.
the chunk of global that's going over onto Radford.
Oh,
But that would be.
or what we would do, like I said, we would just move that Radford parcel, the second project into an LLC, then it would be separate. We can do
It
that.
still needs approval. I mean, it's, it's still gotta be approved within the confines of one of these. And it's on the Radford property, so it'd have to be approved there.
Would it be simpler to move it back onto the global project so that the entirety of the global project is?
And meet the 75-foot requirement.
And
Yeah.
we couldn't meet the 75-foot requirement. We'd be still looking for relief from the land
When
belonging.
they can't give that.
And we can't give that. What you're saying, go back to what we started with,
Yeah,
They can't do that.
we can't do that.
You could, well, I think you could give, I don't think you'd give zero, but you could give, you got 0 to 75 to deal with. In there, if you wanted to go through.
Is the town actually given, the town board actually given us 0 to 75?
Yeah.
and I think
You may consider and approve a 0 setback.
What was the original setback?
15 feet.
15 feet.
I mean, we're happy to go back. We had understood that wasn't gonna work, but if we think that can work, we can go back to.
Is there any more that we can get out of that?
Well,
15 to 75, you know, the issue is we've got a 75-foot perimeter requirement.
Yeah.
And you're asking for a 15-foot requirement. Is there any more we can get out of that? Because one of the things that we prefer to do is minimize any kind of variances, you know, instead of 15 feet, can we get
Yeah,
20,
well,
25, 30?
I don't think I think you're right. I don't think we can do that, because this is.
It would be a perimeter
The reduction is solely at the point where the projects coincide. So if they moved it all back onto Goble, they're 75 feet.
Correct.
That's why we moved it on over the line, because that was the only relief that could be given.
But they could get a variance lower than that. They could get a variance for 15
Is it a
feet.
variance or just, is it the town, did we approve?
No, it's you.
But you said we couldn't get
But
a
it would be a
variance.
variance.
Well, I don't know how you could.
Because
get a
it's
variance.
self-induced.
I don't know, yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
how you could get a variance from the planning board, but you guys can reduce that, but the system does have to be. It
Because
does,
it's a perimeter
it has to be, yeah, the properties, the point where it coincides, so they have to do what they're
So
doing.
you guys say you can't do that.
The question is, the real question is the 6 or 8 foot of panels that they put on the other side,
No,
is that, does that, when you already have a project
Well, it's,
on the other side?
it's not 6.
but even then, if they change the name, the ownership of the parcel that the Global is on.
Doesn't matter, still the same question, still two different people.
Right, but it would be
It's still two different properties.
two different properties. then,
Yeah,
So if they move it back. All on their own property,
If they
we,
can.
they can't get to 75 feet,
right, but we could give them relief from that 75 feet, correct?
not without not without the installation crossing the property line.
No, Tom, the answer, because our law says it has to be 70.
Solely at the point where the projects
Because-
coincide,
Coincide.
and they don't coincide,
And
and they sort of coincide, they don't,
Yeah,
and they sort of do.
This, let me point out though, that their panels are now going like you said, 8 or 5 feet over the line, but there's also a fence line that's about 30 feet off. And there's also landscape plantings
Yeah,
further
but
out.
that's
from
usually
there.
that's usually part of the setback,
Okay.
you know,
I'm
that's,
just
I mean,
pointing out, it's not just. the-
You're trying,
it's not just
you're trying,
eight- it's not 8 feet. There's more components.
trying.
up front.
Yeah, and keep in mind, all of this setback discussion is between partners in the projects. So it's like we're talking about an internal lot line between the parties that are all involved. This is not an external person that's not part of the project. This is only.
But there was no way to transfer that, to get that, transfer land to get that 75.
They wouldn't do that.
That's what I'm saying, is they would never have,
75.
they would never have transferred lands.
Yeah.
And that would have been the easiest way to do it.
Well, if we can come up with a scenario that you find acceptable, that we can't meet the.
It's gonna be
75 feet.
extremely tough.
Yeah.
Right at this moment in time, it's gonna be very tough to meet that. When we first came in with this project, it was like you were trying to put 10 pounds in a 5-pound bucket, you know, it's just, it doesn't fit. And you've been trying to shoehorn it in by whatever slight rules or whatever we're trying, you know. And that's the way it seems to us, and that's the way it's been since the very beginning.
So,
I think we've given enough. I would make a recommendation to deny this. I guess that's what I would need to say.
You make a motion to deny, to the site plan.
Deny the site plan review
Turn it
as
off.
per-
That's just on Goble,
correct.
on the Goble.
having a motion and second. Call the roll, please.
So this is to deny.
Correct.
Okay.
A yes answer is
A yes answers means
you're against it.
you're against the project, yes. And
As currently proposed.
yes,
Angela Hawken, nay. Skip Kern.
Aye.
Yeah.
what do we got? What were you?
Aye.
You were I?
Alan.
Okay, all right. Well, because if it was 3 no's, then that doesn't pass it. We have to go the other way. I wanted to make sure we went the right direction. Okay.
Tom,
Huh? You don't have to, but you can if you want.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Can we continue discussion a bit?
Why don't we move on?
Let's move on.
Let's
Yeah,
move
we
on
gotta-
to Bradford.
We're gonna have to modify the project. And if there's any consideration for a reduced setback or the 75 feet for requirement.
75 feet is the requirement.
If we move one of the Bradford properties into an LLC and reapply, now that they're separate parcels, would that meet the standard that you're asking for?
Two separate names,
Two
no
separate,
longer owned by the same people.
that would be fine.
6 of one, half does of the other, right? I mean, you still got 5 feet, you know,
It's skirting a
yeah,
limitation.
you got
I'd recommend,
what's read and the.
I don't know,
The spirit of what.
we've gotta kind of consider how much. How much overlay we're going to accept. That's kind of a,
You ain't gonna do it now.
yeah,
I mean, if you say that would be acceptable, that's what we'll do. We'll make that change and reapply, but if not, we'll have to do something different.
I don't think they can, I don't
think we-
I don't know how you're gonna say.
Okay.
Come up with another proposal.
Okay.
Moving on.
Now, Radford, somebody's, that's the one. We would be approving the project.
Yeah.
Accepting out this portion, which hasn't been made as part of that,
Keep going on. The other way, sorry, down.
so.
We had a few sheets.
This is the one that meets all the 75. Except for the addition down below.
So on the matter of the parcel definition, John. We've only defined this project as being on one of the two Radford parcels. Is that incorrect, or does that need to be fixed?
owned by the same
is-
person, I would say yes.
we're gonna look at it to the outside boundaries.
Okay.
So as long as you meet 75 feet, there's no
And
issue.
we do, so
There's no issues.
this is the Radford project
Yeah,
changed very.
without the addition at the bottom.
Correct. So that would be if we were. if The global project would be down here and extend.
Which the plans don't show it.
Right. You don't show all the property lines on that.
Yeah.
Or,
It doesn't show any improvements related to the other project.
yeah,
Right,
but it's
right, yeah,
it's still the property line.
Yeah,
And so,
yes.
the Think property line is a 43-acre parcel belonging to Tommy and Christie Radford. This is also a parcel that belonged to them, but we're complying with setbacks from here to that property. So we're complying with every set. But that parcel 12 is no longer part of the project because we don't need it for lot coverage or setbacks or anything like that. And the plans for the Radford project do not show any of the improvements. The panel improvements that are part of the global project.
Right.
All right,
So the approval will be limited to this.
we need a motion to accept this as a final site plan.
I'll make a motion to accept this with the restriction that the global section does not fall within
We'll put a,
as a stipulation as
Yeah.
that the.
when
global
we do, it, we'll
project
just make a
does
note,
not.
we'll make notation of it, yeah.
I second it.
Motion and second, call the roll, please.
Joey Atkinson,
Aye.
Angela Hawken,
I,
Matt Bucko,
Aye.
Alan Curran.
Aye.
All right, motion carried. Do we need to come up with design guidelines for this?
I was gonna ask, do we need a workshop or something so we can all thoroughly understand
what do you want, what we want to do moving forward?
Or come up with some design guidelines, so the original guidelines out there that. Know what we do, what we do about it. You got the brushes all in like this, the project going, then your 75's here,
Right.
you got a project up here and you got a project down here, but it's. Contiguous. Bumping up against each other. That's the whole issue. Yeah.
Also, and how much project needs to be over the line. You know, I mean, if it's based on a square footage or percentage of the property or something.
Percentage of the project or, yeah.
Percentage of the project, that should be
Yeah,
something, there's gotta be something, and I think we need to work on it.
All right.
ready?
Two 95C. Anthony Gooden's Auto Sales, 1900 Grand Central Avenue, public hearing, parking lot for overflow vehicle storage. Good evening.
Good evening.
Okay, I'll read the public hearing notice. Town of Horseheads Planning Board notice of public hearing. Please take notice that the Planning Board of the Town of Horseheads, New York will hold a public hearing on Wednesday, September 4th, 2024 at 7 p.m. at the Town Hall, 150 Whitegate Road, Horseheads, New York, on the application of Anthony Gooden for Gooden Auto Sales LLC for the property located at 1900 Grand Central Avenue, Horseheads, New York, 14845. Tax map number 69.14-2-38 for a special use permit in order to display and store used vehicles. The application is open for inspection at the office of the town clerk at 150 Whitegate Road, Horseheads, New York, regular office hours. Person wishing to appear at the hearing may do so in person or by attorney or by representation. Communications in writing relative thereto may be filed with the board or at such hearing. Thomas J. Skibby, Chairman, Planning Board, dated August 8th, 2024, published one time in the Elmira Star Gazette on August 26th, 2024. I'll open the public hearing. Sit down a minute. I'll open the public hearing to anyone who wishes to speak with regard to this matter.
I'd like to,
Come up to the steps, state your name and address.
Bruce,
On being recognized, you can make your statement.
Bruce Payne, 3051 Butler Ave, Horseheads.
Did you get that?
Yes.
Make your statement.
Well, where he wants to store cars, I'm concerned about, when you come out Cornell Street. If he stores any cars at the end of the roadway. Like big truck, van, you can't see anything coming down. From, the south end of, Grand Central. Between the high bamboo that's there. And, when they had the detail shop there. They parked a van out there, you had to sneak out past into the bike lane in order, and by that time. You either give it gas or you're getting a fender.
Okay,
And it doesn't really state how many cars he's gonna store. Is he gonna store 15, 30, 100?
okay,
That's my concern.
all righty, very
Thank you.
good. Anyone else wishes to speak, please? Yes.
Joan Santulli, 204 Lennox Avenue. My concern again, is how many cars? Is this property across from your garage?
No. Make your statement. If
This
you ask
way.
questions, ask the
Okay,
questions. When the
this
public
property
hearing is
is
closed, we'll
across
answer.
From where his garage is
Okay.
what I'm understanding.
Okay,
As of tonight, there's over a dozen cars parked on that spot. My concern is that, and I'm all for Mr. Gooden I'm happy to have businesses in the town of Horseheads. I'm not against having a business. My concern is that it will start looking like a junk area, a junkyard. Much like Rick Kern's property, looks very much like a junkyard with cars in the back that had not been moved in years, and the trees are already growing up higher than the vehicles. I don't know what the town of Horseheads has as far as code or cars on a dealer lot like that, but you know, when I drive by there, my stomach churns every time. So I'm just concerned that this small lot, like how many, again, this gentleman raised a good question. How many cars are gonna be allowed to be stored there? Or sold there, if that's, gonna be part of the sale part of it. So that's my concern as well, that I don't want a second junkyard on Grand Central Avenue within almost out sight of the first one that's right on the corner of Fairview and Grand Central.
Okay, thank you very much. Anyone else wish to speak, please? Anyone at all? Motions in order to close the public hearing.
Moved.
Second.
Got a motion and second, call the roll, please.
Joe Atkinson,
Aye.
Angela Curran, Angela Hawken, Matt Mustico, Caleb Curran,
Aye.
Tom Skibby.
Aye. Motion.
With regard to the cars that are there now, he's in violation of use of that. But because he made an application, we stayed the enforcement on the violation.
I figured that there was all
And
the
that's
process.
what usually happens.
Okay.
The property, I believe neighbors a residence area, so he's gonna have to provide. Before he'll be able to use it, he's gonna have to provide fencing to keep the residential area away. He's gonna have to provide front's gonna have to be set back at least 6 feet from the property line with a landscaped area. Then that's where he'll be able to store, and he'll be able to store, then it's a matter of how many he can store in there. That,
Is the permit, special use permit going to specify, amount of vehicles?
it will not, no, it does not, that's not part of the. But when he brings in the site plan for that, this board will look at the site plan on how he plans on holding cars there, displaying them, yes. So it's not by number, it's by look at that point in time. So if he gets approved tonight, then he's got to come back in with a site plan, showing the fence, showing the front, showing the access, and showing how he's gonna deal with it, yes.
The other thing too is you gotta be aware of is that, and I'm not 100% positive on this. Where the property line is not, on Grand Central Avenue is relatively wide. So it's gonna be his property line, which would be the right of way line to the road.
And then he base
6 feet more than
behind that.
that.
Yeah.
So I mean, as far
So
as
that
site
should
distance,
answer his
site
question.
distance issues and stuff like that on the edge of the road to the property line plus 6 feet.
I didn't understand your issues with sight lines.
Well, like I said, when you come out, Cornell Street. With, like I said, there's a creek right there where he plans it. And, the bamboo gets up high enough as it is. I know you guys are,
That's not the parcel we're looking at, though. We're looking
but
at
you,
next
when
door.
you come out there,
Right, we're looking at the other side of the Tuna 2 parcel.
this is.
Yeah, I've got it here, so that's,
Well,
yeah,
I just wanted to show you a picture of when I'm sitting in my truck. What it looks like. When you do, that's what it looks like, just with the.
Oh, yeah.
Bamboo.
yeah.
Now, if you put a car out near the edge of that,
So
like
the grass you're complaining about.
well, the grass, but when you put like a van or an SUV there, you can't see anything. And
So,
when you come out there, you gotta get into the bike lane, and by the time you figure it out, you better have your foot on the gas, 'cause
Right.
sometimes when they had the detail place there, they parked the truck there, you couldn't see.
Mhm.
but his thing is beyond that.
Yeah, his is down here.
Thanks.
Yeah, his is down,
I'm not talking
It's
about.
like
the
right
same
next
parcel.
door, though. It's
Yeah.
not, it's real close to.
yeah,
Right,
yeah, but by the time he goes back to the edge of the right of way, goes another 6 feet, I think that's a wide. I don't know how wide that is.
100
That-
foot.
It was 100
foot,
100 foot up through there
yeah,
right away, and I'm not, like I said. I don't know if there's a power line or anything like that near there. Usually that's one of those kind of things that you could use. Power lines as a cheating way of,
that's where the edge is, yeah.
usually that's where the edge of the right is.
Have you bought the property or are you going to buy it?
If the owners of it decide to sell, I would buy the property. but
Okay,
It's not for sale.
did we have, you have
Lease.
control of the property?
Yes.
You gave the copy of your lease and
Yeah,
stuff, right?
it's in there.
Right, so we're all set there. Okay. Do you know if they have a survey?
Yes, they have a survey.
Did you give it to us?
No, yeah. I don't have.
Well, you can do it when you're bringing us, when you do the site plan.
Oh, right.
Okay. Whatever, you guys. You'd issue a special permit and then you'd bring site plan in.
And it's done by 20 parking space, so it's pretty easy to figure out the vehicles you're gonna have there. As far as your board members,
We need to approve.
In
a special permit, automotive,
this parcel includes the other garage too, but we're only dealing with the one parcel,
and
right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So you're
And
saying,
we're not dealing with the building,
No, the building is not.
not part of what you're
No.
dealing with.
So the parking space directly in front of the building is reserved for the owners of the building in case they decide to renovate it or use it. So in the contract, that part is not included, so that is reserved for them. The rest of it from the right, in front facing the building from the right to the right, all of that is the part that I control.
So,
Just the
yeah.
part.
Right.
so at the end, you're, how many feet you are from that intersection to that?
Quite a ways. Is that a number? Quite a ways.
No, it's
So-
not a number.
We're not dealing
Well,
with
you've
that
got-
parcel that they're complaining about.
No, we're not
We're
dealing with this,
farther
yeah,
down from there.
right,
on the drawing, basically, it's 4/8, is it 1899?
1899, exactly across from 1899.
so we're just dealing with this over here,
Yeah, the corner lot isn't, is
Right,
not,
that's it all.
Is 1900.
yeah,
right.
Corner lot, I think is 1902.
Yeah, no, the lot we're looking at is the next one down off the intersection of Cornell and Grand Central. Next one's south from the corner lot.
Right now, all we need to do is make a recommendation or
no, you're passing it,
allowance for auto sales, correct? This is
Yeah.
not accepting.
and
site
it's
plan.
basically about 80 feet of frontage.
For auto sales, and then he still has to get an approval for a site plan.
Well, then he'd bring the site, yeah, once you get that, then he'd bring the site plan in, to set forth what's needed.
So basically, it's 8 cars wide.
Yeah, well, if it was parking, yeah, if it was a parking lot, which, you know,
I'll make a motion to it. For
and to approve a special permit.
us approve a special permit for auto sales. On this property,
And that would, yeah, and then we'll put in
and then we'll,
the things that are required in the section.
and. Then we'll have to approve site plan at a later date.
Second,
Okay,
Motion in a second, call the roll, please.
okay. Joe Atkinson,
aye.
Angela Hawken. Aye. Matt Mustico.
Aye.
Alan Kern, I'm Stevie.
Aye, motion carried.
Okay, talk to Greg about what you need to bring in on a site plan and stuff. You did it for across the street. You get, yeah, basically the same. We knew you couldn't operate out of across the street totally.
Thank you.
Get you taken care of.
Have a good night.
Hi, thank you.
Moving along, new business. 223A, Scott Corner on Spring Creek Apartments, 150 Oak Road. Developer conference addition to 3 apartment buildings with a total of 12 units. Yeah, Mr. Cardinal here.
This is a,
It's BUD that no more. So the town board, refer this to us then?
yeah,
Okay.
I don't know. Oh. Here we go. Yeah, I don't believe we have a site plan.
Just this one sketch here that was, well, not
Yeah.
sketch, it is a.
I think that's all. I don't believe we have a site plan, but
No, I told Greg is that, all we needed is an updated site plan showing requirements for parking. And that's probably it. This is not an acceptable site plan.
He thought that would work besides,
well, it gets you
but
here.
it was the scale, he said.
It gets you here.
I told him it wouldn't work,
Okay,
so
so you just want me to have my structures to draw?
if you take your survey map.
Yep.
Or your existing site plan, I think you've got an existing site plan.
Yeah,
In there. And it's drawn on there, updated, showing your buildings, your parking.
Yep.
To make
And
sure
the
you
offset.
comply with all that,
Yeah.
that's what you would need for the,
How many apartments are being added?
12.
Well,
so you need 18 parking spots, you gotta show us that you comply with the parking regulations. And that's about it that we would need. From you, just an updated site plan.
Wish he would have told me that, would have had Viva Meyer draw that up.
It-
All right,
it's,
I can have him draw that up, it's not an issue.
so, that's what I said before, that's all you needed is.
yeah, they're gonna make a recommendation. The town board's gonna call the public hearing on the PUD at next week's meeting for the October meeting.
Okay.
So as long as everything's into these guys and they can make the recommendation, the town board will have it at their October meeting
Okay, so when do you want the drawings by?
yesterday.
That's,
Well, afternoon would be good, Kurt would freak out, tell him that.
They'll want it at 10 days
before the meeting,
before the next meeting, which is what,
just tell Kirk knows what needs to do. Just need to update the site plan showing,
Oh.
your changes to that.
Yep.
Showing where the parking is gonna be,
Okay.
make sure it meets the zoning. Bring that back into us. And we can make a recommendation to the town board. The town board will.
hold the public hearing.
Public
Yeah, going through the same thing and everything.
You get a hold, yeah, you get a hold, of it, so you can take care of all that, but September 23rd.
Okay.
Is what you need, and then it's October 2nd and October 9th.
All right, I'll get a hold of them tomorrow then.
Yeah, should be pretty simple,
Town.
but then if it,
Call for this.
Kirk will know, good enough.
I don't-
Yeah.
We accept that as a final site plan too.
Okay.
So you, we'll review that. We look at it, we accept it as a preliminary, make a recommendation to them, they'll come back to us. Yeah,
Sounds good.
all right.
Thank you very much. I should have went first.
Yeah.
I could have been out of here.
Yeah.
Or you're not giving me shit.
Hey, home. And our next victim here is. Barclay Owings, Jody Barclay, property located 3155, 3157 Nick Road. I won't read all that. And
You almost had an interesting guy there, huh?
You move it, that's.
Yeah. And we sold our property on Grand Central. Oh, you did?
Oh.
The hell. Well, the whole thing. Yeah,
What is he out of room?
yeah,
And you were out of room over there too. right?
yeah. So it's gonna work great for all of
Win-win
us.
for both of you.
Yeah. And luckily, we're halfway through the renovation on that property, and then Bobcat came. So we stopped. There was more I wanted to do, but we stopped for them. And they should be out, they're saying hopefully by the end of October, first Oh, they're leaving? They're going to the big class. Oh, I thought I saw their equipment up there. Yeah, I'm glad. I met him once. I didn't care what- So you're taking over that whole? Yeah. Good. Here.
Yeah, well, we're just,
What you call it in there? I don't think you did.
So to clean everything up,
Yeah,
what we're talking about is. The whole property probably has to get a special permit for automotive sales and repair
Yeah, it's always been on sale.
to that. The whole parcel,
but when, well, we'll look.
Yeah, it has, the original
I'm gonna ask you a question.
yes.
Do you want them to call the public hearing for the next meeting on a special permit, just in case? Otherwise, you'll be back here next month and it'll be
I'm
another,
not gonna do auto sales, so I don't,
well, it's repair, auto, it's everything that has to do with auto.
I'm extremely confident it's only been auto repair. Sales.
Well, we know
I
when the
have-
beer, we know when the beer distributor was there, it wasn't.
I
So
know,
we're-
I know.
We're all old.
I have the ID number from the state. It's been there for the last 25 years. It's been auto repair.
They have nothing to do with us. What we have to do.
Yeah, because you have. to give them
Recommendation.
approval- You have to give them approval before they can open an auto repair.
recommendation,
I mean,
ask for a public hearing.
Well, the issue is
And
time,
get it-
because I'm gonna have no place to operate my business. That's what I.
what I'm asking you is, do you want them to call for the special permit hearing next month? Just in case
Just in
those are
case.
not in place.
Okay, yeah.
Otherwise, you'll be coming next month and your public hearing won't be till November.
Okay, I'm with you. So-
Got it.
we're gonna do this just in case we need to do it.
If we
Yeah.
don't,
That way,
Parallel path.
we can get everything
Yeah, I
done
see what you're
Parallel
saying.
paths.
Yeah.
in a package deal.
And then you can get your site plan prepared and done
Yeah.
so that you'll be all set.
I'm with you. Okay. So if
Okay.
it isn't approved, it can be hopefully approved at that time for special use.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's right.
Cause it's kind of goofy on that property just because it's 3 addresses. So I don't know how,
You have it all. now,
I have it all.
right? You have everything.
Yeah, it's all, yeah, so it's really one, but it's 3 different addresses.
Might be a good way to clean all of it up too for you too. Just to make it.
If it would be possible, it'd be way easier because we're having a heck of a time internally trying to track everything because it's everything's separate. That'd be way, I don't know if are you saying you could give it one
One address?
address?
You can get one address, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Way better.
You go, I don't know if you have to start with the assessor or go to the post office, but you can get one address.
Because I know I have 3 different assessments on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She might be able to combine it into one parcel for you.
Yeah.
And give you one address.
So I would deal with Teresa on that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, talk to Teresa, she'll, yeah. Have you bought it already?
Yeah,
Cause you came in before with the.
I bought, yeah. But Bob can't go in there. Do you own Dave's too, or Bobby's? No, Bobby's, no. Oh, we will.
We're gonna call for a public hearing, special permit, for motor vehicle, da-da-da-da-da.
So we're gonna make a motion. for
And then if we need it, we use it. If we don't need it, we don't. We don't have to.
Yeah, I see, that's great, okay.
I'll move that we call for a public hearing for the special holding for case 470B Buckley Moving.
That's second.
Motion second, call the roll, please.
Joe Atkinson.
Aye.
Angela Hawken.
Aye.
Matt Mustico.
Aye.
Alan Curran.
Aye.
Tom Skeet.
Aye, motion carried. Also, we need a motion to refer this to the county and the village.
Okay.
So
I would make a recommendation. That you look at your plan because your drawing is not to scale.
Yeah, we did.
Well, he's gotta do it. He's gotta get it. signed.
Yeah, we did,
It's got-
I just wanted to, get
I just was
Yeah.
playing with it earlier and
Yeah.
it's way out of whack as
Yeah.
far as that goes.
And the thing is, it's not even close to any setbacks or anything.
Yeah, this setback is gonna be way off. They're gonna be different.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, we're so far off the line, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get it drawn up.
Yeah, yeah.
And like the same thing we told him, have it in here by the 23rd. So it'll be here.
As far as
So
setting
the
it,
one part, the one roof, it's brand new, but we're gonna raise it because we need height ceiling height.
as far as sending it to the county, do you want an approved and more accurate
Yeah, I was just gonna ask that.
drawing?
They'll probably want.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking too.
I mean, this thing is like, that's the size of your addition, that's the size of what you got drawn on.
So you've got an existing survey map, right?
Yeah.
Get it drawn on that
Yeah.
scale.
Yeah.
And then I can send it.
A lot better.
We can get that, yeah, get that in quicker, then we can get it down to the.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry.
I can get that in tomorrow, and then, do we have,
You have a motion on the floor,
Sure.
point of order?
Yes.
true,
Need a motion.
Sorry.
Second,
did we have a second?
I'll second.
okay, to refer this to the county.
Oh, okay. Call the roll. All right, so we have made a motion to go to the county and the village.
Sure.
All right,
That's within 500 feet.
Yeah.
As you know.
okay, so Joe Atkinson,
Aye.
Angela Hawken, Matt Mustico.
Aye.
Alan Curran,
Aye.
and Steve
Aye, motion carried. See you next month.
Vader. Okay.
Yeah.
She's like, this is what you do, Dan?
Okay, I have a conflict with regard to this, because I represented Tyler when he bought this. So I am.
Good evening, Tower West 207 Old Ithaca Road. We're looking at a site for a special use permit. Motor vehicle sales, service, repair. You're the property owner, right? 'Cause
Correct, yeah, yeah,
I haven't been by there, they said it's cleaned up quite a bit.
Yeah, improvements for sure. Yeah, plan on fixing it up and going forward next. Just looking to add the vehicle sales for the most part. I know it's been just a repair shop. It's the
I was in a legal repair shop for years.
That's sensitive.
It has nothing to do with you.
He bought the problem.
we're starting fresh.
Got it now.
So actually, all we need to do is call for a public hearing for next month.
Yeah,
It's a special permit, so it doesn't need to go to the county,
no county.
no county.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second, call roll.
All right, Joe Atkinson,
Aye.
Angela Hawken. Aye. Matt Mustico,
Aye.
Alan Curran,
Aye.
Tom Steve.
Alright, so you'll get in the packet for,
I'll get you started with that tomorrow.
Sounds great.
Okay,
yeah, then we'll,
we should have done it first.
Good learning
should have
experience.
done everybody,
Learning experience.
should have done everybody first.
Got to look in the window of woodshed.
All right, thank you guys, appreciate that.
Right. Motion to adjourn.
Yes.